live. So, welcome to another episode of Indie Comics Interviews. And tonight, we have Sweens with us. And we're going to be speaking about some Oddity.
Yep. What's going on, guys? Glad to be here. Thank you very much for having me come on and spew my silliness for a while.
Just don't get it on us, man. Just don't get it on.
Yeah, you said to be sharing the Oddity with us.
A little bit of green funk is okay, though. If you want to drip a little green funk on us, that's okay.
See, that's the monster freak talking to you right there. He
Yeah,
loves monsters so much. He wants some green funk on him. He's like, spread that green on me.
maybe it'll infect me. It'll seep in, and I'll turn into a monster. And
I'm a fan of the green funk, dude. I love it.
Land of the Green Funk. That sounds like a good song right there.
But you see, my luck, I wouldn't turn into like a sexy like monster, like Oddity. I turn into like the man thing or the heap or something like that. And Simon, we got to mention real quick. Our brother Simon just hit the 5-figure club.
Hell today, yeah, 5-figure bitches.
Bitches. Most definitely. Congratulations, brother.
Yeah,
thank you. Right now, I'm celebrating with a blunt and Cuba Libre.
Yes.
Rum and Coke.
Hell yeah. Hell.
I've unleashed the Kraken.
You're talking. When you say that, you mean rum and soda, right?
No, rum and Coke.
Okay, I was just wondering if that was powder or not. So
no. Liquid Coke, Coca-Cola.
No white drugs on this channel. No white drugs.
Stay away from it. I don't know.
It just tastes better with Coke, you know.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
It's also worth mentioning any opportunity I can get to fit it in here in America, of course, and hopefully in the UK and elsewhere.
He's trying to fit it in. You see that anywhere you can get it?
Yeah, baby. I'm an opportunist like that.
But look out, ladies, look out.
Yeah, man. I will go. If you have places, I will go there. Only with an invite. Mind you.
Only with consent.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, I want it to be a happy thing. But yeah, in America and England, I don't know if it's elsewhere now. The Jack and Coke is officially known as the Lemmy, and of course, Drew actually drank with Lemmy. So I just have to mention that. How'd
that go, Drew?
It was fucking awesome. I used to live in Hollywood in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And Lemmy was well known to drink at the Rainbow, and there would be not every day reliably, but I would go there frequently, and you can sit there and buy him drinks. He'll talk your head off, man. So,
yeah, oh yeah, that's pretty awesome.
It was. I mean, it's not like I did it every day. It wasn't like a regular thing. He wasn't like my best friend or anything.
Yeah,
no, but you drank with Lemmy.
Yeah,
yes.
Not everyone can say that.
No. 3 times. Yeah, a handful of times. Yeah.
Oh, bastard.
Just a little good news here for the people waiting for Blood Hunt. Mm-hmm. It's done. The lettering's done. It's just going through the final edits, and then Mr. Dye is gonna be preparing the print file and the PDF.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Looking forward to it, brother. Looking forward to it. We've been waiting for this one for a while.
Yep. And trust me, I aim to please.
Oh, we know that. You're true CG. True CG is all about customer satisfaction.
Hell to the yeah.
Yep. Indeed. Drew, do you want to take this away and tell the folks about our guests this evening?
Well, okay, so for people who don't know, I feel sorry for you because the only reason why you don't know is because you've been around recently and his ass has been so busy drawing a goddamn book that he hasn't been posting pictures.
Yeah.
and that is we are talking about Oddity. Now, what is Oddity? What is Oddity? I didn't have it preset on my thing, so I'm getting there.
Jump in and
Well,
say what?
I'm. Let me get my introduction in, and
He
then
was doing the
you were
setup,
doing-
but he got
you were-
delayed by technical
By-
You
difficulties.
see what a like tightly like well-oiled machine
Boomer.
we got running here.
Eat my shorts.
I'd rather sniff them personally, but I'm just weird like that.
Oh, Brian. Dude, he's
Anyways.
creeping to the 20K, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah, boy.
getting up there. We had we have about a week left until it shuts down shop on Indiegogo, like for good. And yeah, I need to shut it down because I've got a lot of stretch goals that I hit, and we need to make sure everyone gets all their stuff. And right now, there's a lot of issues with different manufacturers and stuff, and so we had to come up with a date to just cut it off and be like, okay, this is what it is, and not let any more sales come trickling in or anything like that, because we wouldn't be able to provide all the cool extras that we
Well, you can obviously at any time announce that stretch goals are closed, and you can put it right on the campaign and just leave it in demand if you're gonna, and then overrun books, and then have more books to sell later. That is an option.
That is definitely an option there. Me and Dave were going back and forth about that, and actually, speaking of Dave, I was supposed to send him the link to see if he wanted to jump in here, if that's cool.
Of course,
because he is he's the writer, so he is part of the team and stuff. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm blown away by the reception that this book has gotten, because I joined in on, or started lurking on Comicsgate stuff back in 2017, I believe. Yeah, and I did some fan art and stuff and got people's attention, and then I just started leaking out images of my own book, and somehow people jumped on it and they enjoyed it, and so I did that for like a year before I finally was like, you know what, this is going to be an actual book, and I'm going to release it on Indiegogo, and and that's kind of how it all started. But
well, I can tell you why Dave didn't get an invite in the things is because I didn't know to give him one, because he doesn't follow me.
No,
bad.
Dave follows everyone.
Yeah, well, he missed my account. There he goes. He's getting a stream now. I sent him a link.
Very cool. Very cool. The more the merrier.
Yeah, but yeah, it's harder for me to find you, if you don't follow me, just so you know.
Yeah, I kind of like follow everyone that follows me. Like
that's what I try to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're willing to follow me, sure.
I don't follow everyone that follows me. I follow everyone who has some kind of like possible thing that I'll be interested in that follows me, because I get followed by a lot of just fucked up spam accounts, and I do not follow them back.
So yeah, my problem is like I don't have a problem with following people, whatever, but then everything that someone likes, like it'll pop up on your feed and Twitter. So like every once in a while, I'm sitting there scrolling through it on my phone, whatever. I got my kids next to me, like they're watching TV. I'm scrolling through, and all of a sudden, I've got some big bootied whore sitting there shaking his butt.
Yeah, because somebody that you follow liked it. Yeah,
liked it, and I'm like, oh, and then I see who it was, and I'm like, okay, you're gone. Like,
nothing personal. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Welcome and bienvenue. Welcome.
Hey, why aren't you following Drew Love? Come on, man.
I am. I follow him.
You just now start following me?
You know what it is? Is a lot of times I'll get a lot of people's, in my timeline anyway, and I'll think I'm following them because of retweets and stuff like that. So I thought I was following you, but that's fixed.
Yeah, I didn't think it was on purpose.
It wasn't personal.
Yeah, you did.
We knew that.
I thought it was malicious, man. I thought you hated me.
It hurt his fifis.
Yeah, it did.
If it makes
I
you feel-
have Fifi's. Come on.
If it makes you feel better, I hate everybody.
What was that, Dave?
If it makes you feel better, I hate everybody.
Okay.
Equal opportunity. That's always cool.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're here to promote Oddity tonight and to celebrate the fact that y'all are hitting 20K.
We're getting close.
You're almost there. You're gonna hit it.
Yeah, the other day, all of a sudden, like, I've got my Indiegogo all set up on my phone and stuff. So every time a sale hits, my phone, will make a, vibrate, whatever. And the other day, all of a sudden, my phone just started acting like Michael J. Fox, dude. It was just shaking everywhere. And I was like, what's going on here? I was like,
yeah, Parkinson's joke.
What's that?
I said Parkinson's joke, man.
Yeah, I'm not
classy here.
Yeah, I'm not getting jiggy. I got Parkinson's, But yeah, so my phone starts going crazy. I'm like, what the hell happened? Like, I put up a tweet earlier, but it doesn't go that crazy. And then I found out Ethan announced that he was going to sell off the original for our jam cover, and I guess people saw that and saw the book and started buying. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy how when he just notices something, it sells. Look,
well,
Midas touch, man. Midas touch.
Yeah, he was selling the original art, right? He said he's going to put that on auction, so he was pitching that, and then so everybody who wanted to get the book itself, obviously, because they wanted to have the cover. So if they happen to win the art, that makes a lot of sense. So.
Is that the one? Is he going to run the auction this weekend?
I think he's doing it Friday.
Yeah, they're running. Oh, cool. We'll probably get another bump then too.
We might. Who knows?
Oh yeah, you'll definitely get some attention. You know what I mean? It may be a big bump. It may be, but whatever, it'll get you that 20K. I mean, you're gonna make between now and closing. If that auction happens, you're definitely gonna get that last $700.
No, without a doubt. Way beyond that, I would say.
Well, we'll see what happens. I honestly didn't.
That's cool, man. Humility works, man. It helps.
Yeah, it does.
When you don't expect anything, everything comes as a surprise and a bonus.
Yeah,
true.
When I launched this book, I was surprised if Jesus Christ. And now I just got the Michael J. Fox shake. We just
well, Hitler had Parkinson's too. We just a Hitler joke.
We just gave Sweens Parkinson's, man.
We have his phone Parkinson's. God damn, man. We are toxic. All this toxic masculinity. Damn it.
There's a lot. No soy here, dude. But yeah, what was I talking
Guess
about?
what? By the way,
Yeah,
it's now less than 600 away.
Ooh.
Yeah, we just bumped.
Oh yeah, boy.
When I first did this book, we set the goal at $3,000, and I did it at that because honestly, I didn't know. I had no idea what it would make or anything like that. I was like, 3,000 is a lot of money. Like, for people to throw money at someone's project that is a no name, because I'm an absolute no name. I've got no real credentials in the comic book game at all, and so I was like, 3,000. If we hit it, that's awesome and stuff like that. And then the first night, dude, it just blew up. Like, we did like a little book release party stream, and I got super hammered, acted like an idiot, and it just blew up. And then it just kept going and going. And I'm seriously humbled by the whole thing. Like, that people were willing to throw out this much money towards my project, and and all the positivity. There was no one's really shit on it except for Preston Holter. He gave us.
And we thank him for that, because that got some sales.
Yeah, exactly. He got that spite money.
I actually sent him a DM thanking him.
Yes.
And it was totally sincere. I was like, "Hey, man, thanks for opening us up." And his response was something along the lines of, yeah, okay. He thought I was trolling him. I was totally sincere.
That's awesome. I feel hurt that I haven't ended up like in their crosshairs. Like anti-CG, I haven't ended up in their crosshairs yet. I'm like what? Do I have like BO or something? It's just like,
the biggest disappointment is
I need that bump. I need those spite dollars.
The biggest disappointment is we haven't got Comic Book Hut yet.
Oh, the Hut. That's right. I forgot about the Hut. Because the Hut, the Hut plays the people's champion. He plays the long game.
Yeah. No, but Preston, because when he released his statement about our book and like shitting on it and stuff like that, he made us more money in the 24 hours after that was released than he made on his own book.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I can't really complain about that. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know the guy personally. Like,
right.
Is at least his Twitter persona is garbage, But I don't know. Maybe in real life he's a loving father and all that stuff. I hope he is. But what he did for us was, it was nice.
Like, a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that is. I like the fact that you do keep that in perspective. I'm glad that you've kept your humility and everything like that. That you're grateful, because a little gratitude, boy, goes a really long way in life. And it's also important for us to remember that when we're beefing with like anti-CG, or we're beefing with other people on Twitter or whatnot, yeah, it's fucked up when they try to fuck with our livelihood or other people's livelihood, or get people's, cost them their jobs or whatever. But if people are just slinging shit, they're just slinging shit. And, it's the internet. We're a cup.
Exactly. I don't get worked up about any of that stuff. I want to thank Adam AF. He's the one that just supported us right now, and I really appreciate that, dude.
Hail Adam.
Yeah, Adam AF is a great dude, man.
Yeah, he is.
Adam's
and he's a hardcore comics book, book, not comics, just Comicsgate, but comic book fan.
Yep.
Hardcore comic book.
He also let me on his stream one night, and I was a bit intoxicated and spewed some not so nice things. and he's still nice to me, so I appreciate that. Thank you, Adam.
It's okay. I've been on his stream and said some shit that was like so close to like racist. He had to strip it.
Yeah, I've learned like after like doing like the Six Gun Gorilla launch party on like graded 0.5, I was like drinking absinthe that night, and I just kind of learned that what are we getting like some heavy bass from somewhere?
I think that was a car moving by somebody.
Oh, okay.
There was a big truck down the street coming by.
There you go.
All right.
But to clarify, while we had the interruption, I'm not racist. It was just I was talking about a Disney movie.
And you just hate everybody equally, right?
Yeah.
No, well,
I don't hate anybody. I just hate the way people act sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, it's so easy to take what somebody says out of context or whatever, and then you could just like use that and declare somebody a racist or an N to the A to the Z to the I. I mean, if you're Comicsgate, you've been hit with that.
Well, yeah.
With that label, with that brand, at some point or another.
Yeah. And,
actually, I haven't got hit with that yet. I wonder if it's the hair.
Shut up. Oh, shut up, Nazi. There you go.
And there it goes. Fucking everybody, man. Sim's a hater. You Sim, you anti-CG.
Hashtag blame Sim.
Still your fault I tore that damn sticker. I'll never forget that, man.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's doing the same joke now when they come and say, oh, I'm about to open Cyber USA and I'm going to blame Sim. But don't forget the hashtag.
Right.
Definitely don't forget the hashtag.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely not. But yeah, no, this looks like a fantastic book. It looks like it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. Sweens, you were out promoting your book and then you disappeared for a while, and people were like, well, where the hell did he go? Well, it turns out that you were working, weren't you? You were working on this book.
Yeah, I work on it every single day. I put everything I've got into this book. I mean, it's a true passion project. I I started actually messing with this character back in when I was in high school, and I loved like one of my favorite characters ever was Spider-Man, and not because of his character or anything like that, but I loved his dynamic poses and the action sequences that were created within the book. And back then, I'm just a dorky high schooler, and I was like, what kind of animal could I incorporate and create all these awesome, you know, uh, positions and stuff in space with this character leaping and stuff. And the obvious answer was, like a frog. It's kind of it's a cool little creature, and so that's where I first started it. And I messed with it for years and years, and then I went off to college, and while I was in college, everyone was telling me like, get out of comics, like don't be into that art form. You won't make any money. It's just not worth your time and effort and stuff. And so I got more into like fine arts and oil painting and painting fat naked people and stuff like that at school. And then I did a lot of graphic design within college, and then once I got out of college, I worked for a company. We did animatronic like monsters and stuff.
No shit.
Yeah, we did stuff for like Rob Zombie's stage and stuff like that. A lot of like haunted house creatures and stuff like that. And I did that for a while. And while I was doing that, I would come home at night and I'd do the whole family thing and be with the kids and wife and stuff like that. And then when everyone went to bed, I would do like short little comic strips of this character and just kept messing with them. And as I got older, I added more elements to them and stuff like that. And then after that job, I went into digital sculpting, and I was working for a company for years doing digital sculpting. And my wife kept getting on me. She's like, I know you love your job and stuff like that, but why don't you go back to that old comic you were messing with and stuff? And she's like, that's really your passion. She's like, why don't you give it a shot? And about the same time was when I discovered Comicsgate. I saw that, and then I saw Ethan's book. And before any of this, like I never heard of Cyberfrog or anything like that. Like,
of course,
it was just not on my radar or anything like that. But I saw that, and I was like, I don't know. I don't want to piss in this dude's pond. Like he's got a frog book. I don't want to do that. And she was like, well, send the guy a DM or something and see what he thinks. And so I did. I sent him an email, and I was just like, yeah, well, I got this book. I feel like an asshole talking to you about this because you just produced this awesome comic book, or you're working on it at the time. And, it's got a frog, and mine's, a frog mutant character. Like, not exactly the same thing, but, close enough. And he was like, he just responded like, rock and roll with it, dude. Like, have fun with it. Like, it's got great art. You're passionate about it. Do it. Like, and I was like, okay. And then I started releasing it on Twitter, and people dug it. Like they got into it. So I kept doing it, and now here we are, about 2.5 years into it, and closing in on 20 grand. So it's been a hell of a ride. It's been very awesome, and I can't really say too much beyond that.
That's pretty cool, man. Because we're gonna have a lot of questions for you. So before we start down that road and I turn Brian loose, let's give this video a watch.
Seriously.
But before I make the mistake of hitting that button, I'm just going to unshare and reshare this just to make sure I have the sound. Let's see here. Tab.
Get that potassium, dude.
Now you know why he's got a monkey book, right?
There you go.
McCall, Louisiana. McCall, Louisiana. Today. By day, the swamp is like any other. Mud, mosquitoes, snakes, and frogs. But at night, the swamp is foggy and black as pitch. During springtime, the sound of the peepers is usually enough to almost deafen a man. But on that night, there weren't but silence. That's how I knew there was demons about. Then something moved in front of my spotlight. I think it was stalking me the whole time. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Luckily, I was prepared to defend myself. Suddenly, it jumped at me from the dark. I shot at it, but it disappeared, like a ghost. But I could still feel its presence, all psychic-like. I stayed alert. No swamp demon was going to get the best of me that night. Then from out of nowhere, it attacked. It was all teeth and claws, roaring like some kind of angry grizzly bear. Then it was on me. I could feel it clawing at my face. I fought it as hard as I could. We wrestled for 10 minutes, but I finally managed to throw it out the boat. I was getting my bearings after the fight when I opened my eyes. I saw it from reinforcements. I was completely surrounded.
Oh,
Fantastic. That's great. It tells you just enough. It's like a nice little teaser.
yeah. It was actually made by one of our supporters. This person was really excited about it and created this this video for us. We had another video up originally, and they did it. And this is about the customers. This is about people supporting our book. And when people show, they put time and effort into something, like I like to reciprocate it. And so I put it on up there. And Dave actually did the hillbilly voiceover for it. And,
Oh, that's your voice, Dave?
Yeah, that was the best voice actor we could afford.
Well, you did a bang up job, sir.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
but,
you definitely got that swamp oaky going on, man.
Most definitely.
yeah, and you came from the New England area, right? Originally?
Yeah, I'm from New Hampshire and Vermont, that area.
So yeah, you sound straight up Southern, But
I was going for Australian, but apparently it didn't really come out.
You're going for Australian? Oh, well, in that case. Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's the results that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just like to when fans do stuff for us, and it's cool. Like I'm going to put it up and have it part of this whole thing, because yeah, it's my idea, whatever, and my creation. But to have other people jump on board and be excited for it, and put so much time and effort into something, like it's, in my mind, it's only right to throw that stuff up there and have it be a part of it. And that's how I go about it.
That's
Hell
awesome.
yeah. Hell yeah.
There's a lot of amazing things about this book, and I'm sure that people who have been following you all this time are fully aware of it. But to be fair to Comicsgate, there's a lot of people who have not been watching except for the last couple of months. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they understand maybe you're a Confiscate book, but they don't know any of the goodies yet.
Okay.
And
Technically, we're winning. The mainstream's falling. They're not producing, and they're coming here.
Yep.
Well-
So now it's time for you to reintroduce yourself and to reintroduce the book to a whole new group of people.
Exactly. And so really this book, what it comes down to is I kind of looked at, like, growing up and not being the perfect, like Peter Parker is this amazing kid. Okay, he's got everything going for him. Super smart, has a future and stuff like that. And I was like, play around with the idea that maybe this kid's a complete screw up. Like maybe he's like
a normal kid.
yeah, like most kids growing up. Definitely in my case, like I'm still growing up. I'm 36 years old and I'm still trying to figure things out. And so he's like a goofball kid that probably smoking stuff and being an idiot most of the time. And he kind of gets thrown into this world where he has to learn responsibility and step up for his actions and deal with the repercussions of it. And this book is very silly. It's got a lot of nods to 80s horror films and stuff like that, like the coloring scenes where they're hallucinating. I kind of took that from what was it, oh my god, the books from, or the Stephen King movies, Creepshow.
Nah.
Oh, nice.
Like when they'd have the freak out moments, with the animals eating the chick underneath the steps and stuff like that, and the colors
Yeah.
all crazy and stuff like that. That was kind of like, that's kind of a nod to those movies.
I used to
Nice.
love the Creepshow series.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're silly and over the top, but very fun. And
Did you ever read those comics?
I actually did. I've got them all on my computer right now.
They were so gross when I was a kid. That was what I loved about them. They were just absolutely disgusting.
Well, you're talking about Creepshow, or you're talking
Yes,
about like the
Creepshow.
old EC comics?
Yeah, the creepy books and
You're talking about the Warren magazines, like Creepy and Eerie.
yeah, like that's kind of, that movie was a throwback to that kind of stuff. And,
That was Stephen King and George Romero basically doing a jam project to pay homage to the really old EC comics, the old horror comics like Vault of Horror and Tales of the Crypt.
of course, yeah. Uh-huh.
You heard his description. We're not homaging the comics. We're homaging the movies that homage the comics.
Right.
So yeah, it's a weird little trickle down thing going on. But no, I always dug 80s horror, over the top kind of stuff. So there's a lot of that stuff injected into this book.
You often get any.
Excuse
Sorry,
me.
my son just came in to bring me a drink.
Oh, wow.
Cheers.
If you were to come bring me a drink, I'm only about
Now we all want one.
yeah, right? Make the
I
round.
got mine.
Right, so this is the marsh, the swamp.
Yeah,
which
this
do
is
you call it now? The marshy swamp?
Yeah, marshy swamp. They're not exactly the same thing. A marsh and a swamp. I found that out after doing a little bit.
After we titled it.
But yeah, right. Yeah.
To be fair, a marsh can be part of the swamp.
Yes.
This is accurate. Yes.
It's a more grassy area.
Right. It would be the outlying area of the swamp that has grass growing up.
Mhm.
Yep.
Exactly.
And then the deeper swamp would normally have a lot more trees and coverage, and and then like there would be nothing growing in the where the sun don't shine.
Right. Yeah, it was funny. One person on Twitter commented about the RV up in the tree, and they're like, "There's no way that tree could hold up the RV." And I'm like,
it's because we're really focused on realism here.
exactly. Like, I'm doing a comic book where you can and what's awesome about comics is you can do anything you want, and make whatever you want. And you don't have to worry about special effects and all the costs and stuff like that. It's like whatever your imagination can come up with.
Absolutely.
And,
And what's beautiful about your video is it really kind of explains a lot about the character himself without being from the point of view of the character. It's almost like Oddity is a legend of the swamp. You know what I mean? And it tells it that way, and that's really cool. So,
Like the Legend of Boggy Creek or something.
Yeah.
It's making like the first, I don't know, quarter of the book. It's like, kind of making fun of like those paranormal shows where you got, some redneck that got abducted by aliens, and he's talking about, all this crazy stuff that happened to him, and in real life, it's like, did it really happen? Who knows? Like, probably not. But that's kind of like this whole opening scene is poking fun at this goofball that is talking about, him fighting off this swamp creature and all this stuff. But in reality, he got the nutsack tongue hit on his face, and he's
right.
Yeah. I mean, so he's exaggerating. It's the guy who caught the big fish. You know what I mean? And it's like
unreliable narrator.
Exactly. But meanwhile, this is no ordinary swamp, is it? Because
the teabag tongue shot is hilarious, though. The teabag tongue shot.
People really enjoyed that visual of this, like the tongue hitting. And then it, like, you can't zoom in on it here, but when you actually see it, it looks like a ball sack hitting him right on the bridge of the nose, and it's splashing everywhere. And and then he starts tripping out off of it. But it's kind of it's meant to be funny. It's meant to be silly. Like we're just having fun with this stuff.
But it's also obviously got a horror element to it, because now this guy's eyes are opened, and these creatures that have been there all the time, he can suddenly see them.
No, what's going on is he's seeing what's not there.
Yeah, he's
hallucinating.
hallucinating.
The whole point of Oddity is he's there to scare people away, because it's like a magic swamp. He's been assigned as the guardian. There's all kinds of like sort of urban legend creatures that live in the swamp.
So a bit like Swamp Thing?
Sort of, a little bit. There's an actual spirit to the swamp that assigns him as guardian, and he sucks at his job. But what he's doing is he's scaring people away to keep people out of the swamp.
Oh, okay.
So they're not getting infected and becoming nuisances, and that's kind of his. It's kind of his. We called it his Uncle Ben moment, where these two hillbillies go into the swamp and they indeed get infected and start wreaking havoc throughout the town and just being crazy. And that's kind of the moment where he could have stopped them. He could have made the story very short. It could have ended right there, but instead he acted like a goofball teenager and didn't live up to his responsibilities, and in result unleashed these two hillbilly mutants onto the city or onto the town. And now it's his responsibility to clean up this mess. And this initial book is all about him figuring out if he can do it or if he's going to screw up even more. And that's how we laid out the first book. So
excellent. Let's take a pause to say hello to everybody in the chat. We really haven't been going effective like that.
That's what I was gonna say.
We see we got Wiggle in the chat. We got Lothar D was here earlier. I hope he's still around. We got Indie Dave Comics. Oh no, wait, he's not in the chat anymore. I know where he's at. All right, so we got Rare Logic. Hey, let's visit. Zaid Comics was here. The Ascending Apotheon was here. Apothecon. We got again Zaid Comics making the second appearance in the list here. We got Arch City Comics is maybe still there. If not, he's got a party he's planning for.
Hell yeah! So don't mind me if I drop out.
That's all good.
And Edward Marlis is here. Hail, Edward! Thanks for coming again. Love to see you when you're here, brother. And then we got more Arch City, more Wiggle. We got Spike in Madness.
Metal
we got Metal. Hail, Metal.
Hell, brother.
Love that dude.
Double horns. My hand was not cooperating because I was leaning on it. It's like half asleep.
Here, I'll do them for you.
Yeah, like when you like lean on your arm too long, it's like, and you pick it up, and then you don't realize it's asleep till you pick it up, and you're like,
oh, most definitely, most definitely. I'm looking at this cover. The that's the variant cover with the RV that's like up in the crook of the tree. I love that because that's a interesting case of an artist that's using empty space in an interesting way, the same way that a musician will sometimes use silence.
Exactly.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really iconic image, and it really sets the tone of the whole book.
Yeah, it is, and it was actually a request from quite a few backers. They're like, "Could you do a variant cover with this?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And Dave was the one pushing me to do it. And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? Why not? Like, this is for customers. This is what it's about. So if people want it, then we'll do it." And
so cool.
Yeah, but since I'm not paying an artist or a colorist or any of that stuff because I'm doing all that work, we had a lot of leeway to create, cool stretch goal stuff. So,
man, you used to have more images on your campaign. You've like stripped some off, haven't you?
Well, we changed it so that you see the first, 12 pages, I believe. We used to have a lot more just random pages thrown up there. And
this cover art used to be on there too.
Yeah, there was a scene with that in there.
Yeah, I was looking.
But that's
that,
cool.
And
you're mixing it up and keeping it fresh.
There was the one where he was sitting on the trailer outside of it, and yeah, I was excited about showing all those off. Oh well. Everybody find an old stream. They're in there somewhere.
And how many pages?
You want that before I leave? You want that book? Sweens been busting his ass on it. Like I don't know Dave that much, but I know he's been working on it. And from what I've heard from Sween, he's been busting his ass and is very into this story.
Sweens is doing all of it. He's doing all of it. Pretty much my job is done.
Well, you definitely want this book because it is.
He deserves to pass that 20K.
Hell yeah!
He'll pass that 20K. It needs to happen. Yeah. But the book itself is really impressive. The art is amazing. Sweens is a great artist as well as a fantastic colorist. He can communicate mood very, very well.
He's been growing every day since he started working on this book. Like I've seen some of the more recent work that he's done.
Yeah, some of he's
and that's always exciting.
He's stripped the most impressive artwork out of his campaign, so you know what I mean. So we can't show it off right now, but it's in the book.
and there's an Easter egg cameo of Oddity and Blood Hunt. Wink, wink, nudge.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah,
no, I haven't do that.
And
there's a lot of
actually, there's an Easter egg of Blood Hunt in Oddity as well.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, and
I love you, bro. Right?
Along with several people that started promoting my work early on, like their names are all hidden in different areas of the book and stuff like that, and they get drawn in and stuff like that. So
I made the Cyber Frog Oddity crossover happen before it actually happened.
He did. Sim was he's a man ahead of his time.
We knew that.
Knew that.
Sim is the master at the sketch cards and the fan art. So
yeah, he blows me away with how quick he can draw things. Mm-hmm. Like when I draw things, it takes forever, dude. It's like, it's never an easy process. It's always, I really have to focus in and knock the stuff out. And then Sim's like, yeah, I just knocked out all these fan art pages like out of nowhere. I'm like
while we were talking.
While we were talking, he just made 3 fan art pieces And
That's because he just sits there all day long and does nothing but draw. He like stops to fucking take a shit and if like maybe.
But I also promote a lot of projects.
he just wears the tens, dude. He's shit
Thank you.
while working.
His desk chair is actually a commode. Yeah.
It's a machine, man. Simon's a machine.
He is though. But no, I mean, if we don't hit 20K, I'm still happy. Like I'm still content with all this.
So let's discuss your plan with what your plans with the book. I mean, we're going to go back and to dig a little deeper, but I want to know, like, okay, are you planning to have an overprint of the book at all?
Yes, we will do not with the Ethan cover though.
Right.
The Ethan cover is for Indiegogo, and that's final. Like,
we'll overprint a little bit to cover damages in case there's damages.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a few extra just to do some little things, maybe some giveaways in the future. But there's going to be no second print, and we're not going to put it on the book 2 campaign at all. So your chance to get it is now. If you don't pre-order it now on this campaign, you don't get it. You might end up on eBay. We actually had a guy who bought 10 copies. So it might be on eBay, but you're not going to get it for the price you're going to get it now.
And if I'm not mistaken, it's the only place where the Ethan Van Sciver crossover cover is available, right?
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
So the original cover is you're not gonna like reprint that as a second version or anything. You're not gonna let the
the original cover will print out enough. We'll probably put some of those on the second book campaign because we want people to be able to get the full story. Yeah. And we might even, depending if it becomes really popular, we might do a second print of that just for that campaign as well.
Well, when we're not in front of everybody, if you guys want to sit back and discuss like business tactics, I'm happy to share my experience.
I am glad to hear all of it.
Yeah.
But not in front of everybody because because sometimes the things I say could be embarrassing. So
it's all good. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, this is both of our first campaign, our first book. So it's a learning experience.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, there's always a learning curve, man. And anything you do that you haven't done before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, there's shit that you didn't see coming. You're like, I didn't know I needed to know that.
There's things that you just can't even prepare for, like until you're actually in it and you've done it. Like there's just aspects of it that.
And there's some stuff that may even you like when you find out, you're like that was really obvious. Why didn't I see that? Why didn't I think of that?
Mm-hmm.
I have one of those things myself. Like my first book was actually designed in comic book format, staple stitched, so but produced as a perfect bound.
Okay.
Thus the gutter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Lesson learned. It's like it is one thing that if I had thought about ahead of time, I would have made sure that was cared for across the board. You know what I mean? It didn't ruin the book at all. You can still read everything. You can still see everything. But sometimes you want to pull the book apart, you know what I mean, to see what you're missing in the gutter, and that's not the best approach.
Gotcha. Yeah. But as far as our plan with this book is we're planning on two more books. So we'll have Oddity 2 and 3. This first book, the way I planned it and the way Dave and I jumped back and forth talking about it was we want people to get excited about the book. We want people to open it up and not be bored with all this expose and explaining everything away and all these boring talking head scenes and stuff like that. I wanted to just submerge the reader right into the world of Oddity and get them excited about it. Like when you watch a horror movie and the first 5 to 15 minutes, it's like you get a feel of the bad guy and him murdering someone right off the bat, and it just kind of throws you right into the world and gets you excited about it or scared.
Or another other than horror, for people who aren't horror fans, another genre that movies that does that is also James Bond films.
Mhm,
They start
exactly.
out with James Bond's on an existing mission. He's
Mhm,
in
exactly.
tension,
Yeah.
and he solves that. He comes back, and then after that mission is over, opening credits. After opening credits, he goes and meets with M.
Exactly. That's my thought process. Exactly. I wanted to just get people excited about the book, as excited as I am. And I wanted it to be fun for me to draw and stuff. I figured, I got one shot to sit here and throw a book out there that gets people excited. And I don't want to sit there and just do a whole origin story and kind of leave people, questioning about where it's going. So now you know where it's going, and now you're left with the question of where did it come from? Like, where did all this come from?
Yeah.
Yeah. You jump right into action, and then you give just enough of the origin story, just little hints, just enough for the reader gets it.
Mhm.
Okay, there was an accident. Okay, we don't need to know all the details right now, but okay, we get the basic idea, and we get to introduce the characters enough, get to introduce the story, get the action, and then by the end of the book, they're like, "Wow, that was a cool story. Now I want to know more about the characters."
Exactly.
And then we can jump into the next one. We can do a nice, good, exciting origin story.
Man, I loved those images of inside his little inside his his little home.
Uh-huh.
The especially like the extreme angle shit, man.
Yeah.
There's just so much cool. There's just everybody, you want this book. The artwork in this thing is gonna fucking make you poop your pants, dude. I as soon as I saw the artwork for this thing, I knew I had to have it. I was already turned on by the concept. I could see the drawing, I could see the color scheme. I'm like, this is gonna be fun. It's like Joker colors and a fucking Spider-Man feel. You know what I mean? It's like two favorite genres all at the same time. You know what I mean? It's seriously. And then the artwork that I saw beyond that, I was like, I had to have it. So yeah, I've backed this book freaking ages ago. I've been waiting for this thing. I've been waiting for this thing for so goddamn long.
I just forget what I've backed and what I haven't, and sometimes I think I've backed things, and it turns out that I haven't. I'm pretty sure I backed this right away because, I am a big fan of Swamp Monsters and Monster comics and Swamp Monster movies. So you talk about the Heap, Man Thing, Swamp Thing, Legend of Boggy Creek, all that stuff.
Swamp Thing is one of my favorite. Like, Swamp Thing was kind of like my genesis with books. I love Alan Moore's his Swamp Thing run. It kind of
him and Stephen Bissett, man, iconic run.
I met Stephen Bissett when I early on when I was collecting comics. He came into one of my comic stores, and I had a few comics that he signed for me. That he's a cool dude.
Everybody says the same things about him. It's a shame that he doesn't do conventions. But everybody I know that's met him says the exact same thing, uses the same word to describe him. Gentle.
Yeah, and he teaches art at a college in Vermont, in Burlington.
Yeah, I know, it's awesome. Yeah, I love that dude. I mean, I've never met him. I love his work, and he also writes really interesting essays too.
Mm-hmm.
Wiggle wanted to see the trailer again. So
hey guys,
I'm
gonna have to leave though.
All right,
so
hey,
have a good one.
Congratulations on that 10K, brother. We will see you at your party. Everybody go over to Adam AF when we're done here. Not yet, but when we're done, Adam AF, Art City Comics. They're going to be partying for Sims. So we're all going to go over there together. So you guys hang here until we're done.
Go, brothers. Later.
Hell. Take care, man.
See ya.
And go back Oddity now.
Definitely.
We're going to turn this on. We're going to watch this and then.
Oh yeah, let's do that first.
Yeah.
Macabre, Louisiana. today. By day, the swamp is like any other. Mud, mosquitoes, snakes, and frogs. But at night, the swamp is foggy and black as pitch. During springtime, the sound of the peepers is usually enough to almost deafen a man. But on that night, there weren't but silence. That's how I knew there was demons about. Then something moved in front of my spotlight. I think it was stalking me the whole time. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Luckily, I was prepared to defend myself. Suddenly, it jumped at me from the dark. I shot at it, but it disappeared, like a ghost. And I could still feel its presence, all psychic-like. I stayed alert. No swamp demon was going to get the best of me that night. Then from out of nowhere, it attacked. It was all teeth and claws, roaring like some kind of angry grizzly bear. Then it was on me. I could feel it clawing at my face. I fought it as hard as I could. We wrestled for 10 minutes, but I finally managed to throw it out the boat. I was getting my bearings after the fight when I opened my eyes. I saw it brought reinforcements. I was completely surrounded.
There you go, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, it's all silly. Yeah.
I dig it, man. I dig it a lot. I'm looking forward to getting it. So you're gonna be having it start printing, and you're gonna start shipping when?
Okay, we changed it up from 48 pages to 50. I've got about 12 pages to finish up. I hired on a flatter to finish up the flats and to speed things up because anyone who knows about creating a comic, flatters are huge because they save so much time and they're not the most expensive thing. And anyone in the future that's going to create a book, definitely get a flatter. Like it's worth every dime and penny you throw at them. So
Yeah, that's definitely true. My colorist has his own flatter that he works with. I don't know if he does the flats himself or he has somebody else do them. But yeah, doing colors in flats first makes all mess of
it
sense.
speeds it all up. And I'm a slow worker because I want the book to be perfect. And perfect to a degree, perfect for now. 6 months from now, I'll look at things and they'll drive me nuts. Like that's how it is as an artist. Like you create something and for a week or so you think it's awesome and then, you give it a break and you come back and you nitpick things and kind of freak out, whatever. But I also waited to create this book until I was confident with my skill level as an artist and as a colorist. So it does take some time, but we're we're going to get it knocked out as soon as possible, and hopefully people are there's still printers around at that point.
Yeah, there's going to be Mixum. Have you guys got your quote yet?
Yeah,
And stuff?
yeah, we went through Mixum. I got a quote on all that stuff. So Mixum.
Mixum's doing strong. They're doing strong right now.
They seem to be the place to go to.
Yeah, and they give Comicsgate priority now because there's so many of us keep coming there.
Oh, I didn't know that they were on it like that, but that's awesome to hear.
Well, they once they realize that you're part of the Indiegogo comic producer community, and that they kind of they will be a little bit more friendly to help you because so many people from from the Comicsgate community have based in the last year. It's like been a shitload of business for them.
Well, yeah, I mean, it only makes sense. It's good business. I mean,
Yeah.
Comics is growing all the time. I mean, it's hard to keep up with actually with a lot of the new projects coming out. When Comicsgate first came out, when it first kind of blew up, you saw you saw amateur kind of books for the most, like a lot of amateur art and stuff like that. Not bad, but it was.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It doesn't suck, but it's not matured.
hmm And now it's like, dude, I'm seeing new books all the time. Almost weekly within Comicsgate that put Marvel and DC to shame. Like,
Yeah.
you see a lot of great art coming out, and it's really cool to see this movement going on because everyone's just fueling each other, like giving everyone else more inspiration to strive higher with their creations, and really set themselves above everyone else, and
Yeah.
it's good. It's good to see. I love it.
It is amazing the amount of talent that's here in Comicsgate. It's astounding, really. And the biggest compliment one of the biggest compliments I got on my book was somebody saying that it doesn't look like an indie. And you know what?
Yeah.
Your book doesn't look like an indie. Drew's book does not look like an indie. Most of the books don't look like indies.
Yeah, it doesn't look like some clowns just trying to throw together a book. Not saying that indie books are always
No,
clowns.
but if you want to know exactly what he's talking about, just cruise on over to Kickstarter and browse.
Yeah.
And about 90% of the books on Kickstarter will explain exactly what he means.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that CG is very much, I'd like to think a meritocracy, and that the cream shall rise to the top. And it's the new people that are coming in, the people that haven't launched their campaigns yet but are getting ready to launch their campaigns, like 6 a.m. Comics, for instance.
Dude,
Mark Marianelli.
Yeah,
love his art.
Fantastic.
Mark is a righteous dude. Have you guys played his video game? Did any of you guys have Apple Arcade?
We were on that big, Comicsgate poster he did.
Yeah,
and we're gonna put his little Oddity picture, and we're gonna put his on our fan art page.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we all have one of those fan arts. It's pretty awesome. We saw your guys'. That was funny too. The Apple Arcade video game is of the same name and general concept of this comic book. You know what I mean? And Starfetched. It's really a brilliant idea, and it's
beautiful.
Yeah,
I've seen the playthroughs on Twitter, and it's really cool looking.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, I have Apple. I have an iPhone and a Mac that I use for my laptop, and so I tend to toy with it. It's like the only video game that I don't know if it's because a friend did it. You know what I mean? I'm into it more. But I actually get a kick out of playing.
It's charming. It's charming as hell, man.
Finding the little dog in the monster, the little dog that would make my friend, and I was like, I tweeted that out, and he was all like, "Oh, you found Pup." I'm like, "Oh, his name is Pup." I'm like, it's like.
Yeah, so he's just another example of the people that that are coming in behind us, and it's very important for us to uplift those people, to make sure that Comicsgate, that we're not only not gatekeepers, but that we're gate openers.
Mm-hmm.
And that we bring these folks in, and that we teach them from all the things that we did right, especially the things that we did wrong, and get them up and running.
That they would be Comicsgate fourth wave, because right now we're experiencing third wave. So so fourth wave would be the next generation, next year's comic releases, and that would be after the coronavirus and probably after the economy starts to recover. So fourth wave will be hitting hard.
Yes, yes. Now I gotta know about this sculpture because I would love to have a 6-gun gorilla sculpt.
Before you start going on too much on the sculpture, this one it was 3D printed by George Gaddis, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
George,
Yeah. He was talking
Shit.
about us. George is a friend of the show.
That's
Yeah.
right. Got in
George,
touch with me, actually. I don't think I ever got back to him about like doing a 6-gun gorilla sculpt.
yeah. So my day job for years, I was a digital sculptor. I sculpt for tons of anime, Dragon Ball Z, all big anime. I sculpted stuff for DC, Marvel, all that stuff. Not toot my horn, but that's kind of like what I was doing for a living for years. And I was like, you know what? We haven't seen too many sculpts or kits put together for a campaign. So I was like, you know what? I might as well do this. So I knocked out the sculpt, and it was it was pretty simple to begin with. And then I went with George, and the dude is so in tune. Like he is so like into numbers and working things out.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, my God. Yeah.
Like you talk to him, and he'll blow you away when he starts computing things and stuff like that. And he came up with this whole system of how to lock it together, like with these little pieces. Yeah, like it's insane how awesome the thing turned out. This is just
Yeah.
a portion of it, and this
George has an extremely active mind,
yes,
and he has also a lot of information and a lot of understanding of like even engineering
uh-huh,
and because if he wants to, I relate to him because if he wants to understand something, he will figure it out. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Because
yeah,
he cannot just not know how something works and just let it be. You know what I mean? So I can relate to that, and he's taken it further than I have, and I've never met anybody like that before. So
yeah.
it was I thought I was really bad, but next to George, I look like a normie.
He's a mad genius. Love the guy. Like he'll hit me up every once in a while. And we'll sit there, and you think it's going to be a 5-minute conversation, and we go on for an hour and a half, 2 hours of just going at it. It's awesome. But he figured out this whole mechanism of locking all these pieces together. So you can buy it as a kit, where you can buy it blank and you can do all the painting and stuff like that, or you can buy it already colored and pre-assembled. For the most part, a few of the small, like the tongue and stuff like that, will have to be assembled on your own because of shipping and the possibility of being broken and stuff like that.
So we're gonna ship you a broken toy, and you got to fix it.
Exactly.
Just make sure to include the super glue.
Yeah, he came through huge on this, and yeah, we got a huge logo that goes up right up on the front of it that says Oddity. It snaps in there. We've got these different type of sewage drainages coming out the side with the green ooze leaking out and stuff. It's insane. Like the dude went above and beyond.
So cool.
Anything I was expecting for this thing. So,
And then anybody that gets it, they have the option. They can either get it painted themselves. They can get it painted by Sweens or somebody, or we'll give them the color scheme basically. And when they get it, they can do that all themselves.
That's so cool.
Color it however you want. Yeah, but
I'm a big mini. At least I used to be a big mini painter back in the day. And every now and then, I'll pick the hobby up again. Usually during like a time of crisis.
So is this like about 4 inches tall? How big is that?
It came out to be about 6 inches from the top of the tongue to the bottom. It's a decent size.
So that's not going to be like a real bitch to paint like the little Dungeons and Dragons.
So how much? It's hard to see at this angle. How much higher than the body does the tongue come? Is it pretty much like this? So
yeah, the body's the same in the
Skylander. If you ever seen one of those.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, like the eyes, the hair, the shoelaces, all that are separate parts. So like you can paint on, you can airbrush that stuff super simple. Like, you know,
Before assembly, right?
yeah, exactly. So, and then you just dab on some Gorilla Glue or super glue, whatever you want. You place it in there, and you know you can put together as a model kit. And
I recommend Gorilla Glue, of course.
yes,
Of course.
yeah, if you want it to stand the test of time.
Yeah, he recommends 6-gun Gorilla Glue. 6-gun Gorilla Glue.
Yeah,
seriously, I would love to have a mini like this. That's fucking fantastic, dude.
It came out really sweet. So those are coming to quite a few backers. We only did a run of 20 of them all together,
and it sold out.
Well, this isn't correct. This one is there. There's ones that sold a long time before this, but we did special deals and had to re-up it. I think we've got maybe 2 left at the time right now.
Okay, so what's this figurine here? This is
that's it.
Okay.
That is
so it says here you have 7.
Yeah, it's because we sold a bunch and then we did like a weekend deal on them and then we brought it back and then
I'll probably go into the campaign and fix that.
Yeah. You can't unless you just drop it and put another one in. I mean,
well, what you can do is you can just make a copy of you can drop it and make a copy of the other one and then just change that number.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to put a fresh one up. So it's already at 0, so it wouldn't hurt anything, right?
Yeah.
Actually, it's at 0. It means nobody claimed it. It means you can actually change this one since it hasn't been claimed. Yeah. You can actually edit that one. It is at 0. So.
Yeah, I don't think I've edited the page once. It's usually Dave jumps on.
I'm the one that screws it up all the time, so I have to.
He doesn't screw it up.
Oh, geez. You know what? Please screw up my campaign. Screw up Drew's campaign. Screw up all our campaigns because you guys are on fire.
Yeah, I can't. Like I said, I can't complain about anything right now. It's all been very awesome.
Yep.
We probably haven't pushed this one enough. The variant cover inks. Basically, you can get this cover and he'll re-ink it, and you can get like the original. It's not really the original, but basically he'll do the pencils. He'll re-ink it, and he'll re-ink it traditionally, and you can get an original cover. This cover.
Yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
what I do, since I work mostly digitally, I print them out in blue line. So if someone gets like the original cover and stuff like that, that's sold out, or that got sold. What I do is I print it out in a blue line and then I ink it traditionally, and then I take that inking and I scan it in and lay it over my colors, and it all lines up beautifully. And then I send off the original inking, and that's what they get. So
that's very cool. I mean, it's still original work because
it comes out to be original.
Because that's the hardest part. I mean, the inking is way harder than the pencils because I mean, because if you fuck up, you got to start over.
Exactly, and that's why I print out in blue line, and I've got it all set up there, and then it's just inking, like it's traditional inking, which I actually really enjoy doing. Like it's very cathartic to a degree.
Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, and then this one, these are all gone, so we're not going to focus on them.
People, you snooze, you lose.
Book and a sketch. So you got 15 of those left still. It's just what's the sketch of? Do you pick it? Did they pick it? Is it something specific?
Well, there's quite a few that jumped on, and when they do or when they buy in on this, I'll email them and be like, okay, is there another IP that you dig that you would like to see a crossover with, stuff like that? And I try to make it fun with them, and so I've gotten. What was really funny was one of them was they wanted to see Casey Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Oddity.
Nice.
And then the one right after that was they wanted to see Jason from Friday the 13th mixed in with Oddity. And because they both had the hockey mask on. And I'm like, Yeah, I'll just flip the hockey stick with a machete. Like,
That works.
yeah,
So there's 15 of these left, people.
yeah,
I would say move on this as
Yeah.
fast as you possibly
For
can.
$70 for the book and original art from Sweens here. I mean, this book is awesome, and the artwork. Look at this. This is great artwork. You couldn't. That's a great deal. You need
That's
to
an
jump on
awesome
that.
deal.
Mhm.
And this is one of the flagship Comicsgate books. So don't forget that too.
yeah. It blows my mind that I'm even like considered. Yeah, I'm a goofball, dude. And,
Well, guess what? We all are. We all are. And the people that are at the tippy top, they're goofballs too.
oh yeah, I mean, for sure, but still, just
I know. It's great though. It's great. Enjoy this. And, this is definitely you're off to a fine start. This is your first campaign, right?
yeah, my very first campaign.
Off to a fine start.
Mm-hmm.
You see, this is something that you should consider for the fans. You know what I mean? I know you're shutting down like in a week, but a lot of people don't have any money right now.
Yeah.
And I know you guys are worried about all this kind of stuff, but what I would suggest is this, and you guys make your own decisions, but this is just like from analyzing things. This is what I would suggest. I would suggest you make an announcement on your updates, change your page to reflect that you are removing the stretch goals as of today. You know what I mean? No more stretch goals. You've run out. You know what I mean? Take off anything that you would be too hard to produce, like anything that would be dangerous, like all the reasons why you wanted to shut down early.
Exactly.
Just kill all those, make an announcement on the updates, do it on the page itself, and then tweet it out in all your interviews. Make sure that you tell people that's done. And then, you got some time before you're finished with the book. So it's a little while, not a long time, but a little while before you can go to print. You know what I mean? So leave that in demand. And then after, this is something that's really important to pay attention to. After the book delivers, like after you finally get it done and you print it and you deliver the books to people, they're going to read it. They're going to show that you deliver. They're going to be talking about the story and how much it fucking impacted them, right? That is going to create an extreme demand for your book.
Yeah.
I sold most of my books in a very fast pace after people got them in their hands. You will probably see your numbers jump dramatically after that point. And if you don't have books available, if you don't have your campaign open, then everybody misses out on getting your great book, and you miss out on them dollars that them people are going to want to throw at you. And then when the recovery starts to happen, this pandemic thing is over and people are going back to work and they want to spend their money on something and they can't go to their local LCS because it's not swamped with comic books anymore on New Comic Book Day, they're going to want to spend their money somewhere, and they're going to see this book coming out of Comicsgate that is everybody's talking about because they got their copies of Oddity, and oh my god, this is so great, and they're showing pictures of it on their stream, and like people are like, that's fucking bad, I gotta have this book. You know what I mean? Just throwing that out there, that is a real thing, that is really what people are going to do. So
it makes a lot of sense, and that's what's cool about this whole scene with Comicsgate is that you have people that will give you a heads up on things and help you out, help you, further along, and do, make the right decisions.
That's what we're all about. That's what we're all about. And Drew is an incredible resource, by the way. He knows what he's talking about. Drew, let's face it, artists in general, we're not very good business people.
No, I'm horrible.
Yeah, so am I. Drew is the exception to the rule. He's like an artist who actually is like a really savvy businessman and knows his shite, as it were. And has been a tremendous resource to me and to countless others. In Comicsgate. So that's the thing. We are a fellowship and a resource. And by that, I mean all of Comicsgate. we're all about helping each other out, and of course, as I said before, the people that are going to be coming in after us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's really what it's about. It's about it sounds cliche and stupid, whatever, but lifting
Yeah,
other
it's
people
happy.
up and helping each other out and creating a new industry, a better industry. And
yeah.
We're
And
building
just
something here, man. We're playing the long game.
and now think about this also, right? Okay, you're going to have actual spare time when you're done drawing your book.
maybe.
Well, you might have to make up some shit first, but I mean, like maybe after 3 weeks of kissing the wife's ass, you know what I mean? You might have some free
Can I
time.
mention also how awesome a lady your wife is
Oh,
to
yeah.
actually encourage you to chase
Yep.
your dreams?
Yeah, that is awesome.
Because let's face it, not all of us, most of us, if we have ladies, they're like, wake up, like snap out of
The
it.
kissing the wife's ass thing was a joke, but my point being is
Yeah.
like, after you have a little recovery time from having to work on this thing like you are, you will actually be able to spend time doing more streams like this, hanging out and just talking shit. You know what I mean? And not necessarily being, pump your book, but people will want to know about your book. People want to ask you about your book. People want to know if your book is still available. You know what I mean? People will want to buy your book. My book has been available, you know what I mean, since December, and I have sold an average of one a day. You know what I mean?
That's huge.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
and so it's just been climbing. I mean, sure, my campaign didn't do that great out the gate. I didn't have any big Comicsgate people helping me. I don't have any crossover covers with someone as huge like EVS. I don't have those advantages. So I just had to fucking plug hard and do the Comicsgate game, the hard way, the hard slog, and produce good content, be good customer service, be a genuine person. Build friendships, build trust. You know what I mean? And then that's the trick. And then you've also done that. On top of getting the help. So when this comes through, you are going to have the ability to leverage that double whammy in even a bigger momentum. People are going to want
crazy
this book.
momentum.
So
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That crazy momentum.
So think when you are given those options to upgrade your printing, it's only a couple $100 more to do this thing, and when you're getting those final numbers on your Mixum, you know what I mean. You want me to help you, whatever you guys are discussing it. You want somebody who's been down the pricing route for 20 years with printers.
Yeah.
Okay. I've done this printing game for a very long time. It's part of my overall bread and butter business. You know what I mean? Is brokering printing. So, this is something I totally know the ins and outs of fully. And, when it comes to figuring out the right price, what you want to hit, there's a lot of ways to look at it, and you base it on an overall business model. You know what I mean? And you think not just today, you think tomorrow, next week, next month, how to maximize your buck, right? Because an extra $200 here, even an extra $500 right now turns into, $5,000. It becomes worth it. Even if it takes another 4 months to get that 5,000, you know what I mean? So
for sure.
And let me just add, once again, just to bring things back to your lovely lady, make sure to take some of this money and, buy her like a gift certificate for like a spa treatment. Or,
right.
Or take a nice weekend, to just use her to bed and breakfast or something. a little Tarzan Eugene time,
Yeah.
He always goes back to the animal references. Have you guys noticed that?
But I mean, dude, Drew, tell me. I mean, how many women are like tell you, like, baby, chase your dreams. You can. I believe in you.
A lot of them say it. No, a lot of them say it. Very few of them mean it. You know what I mean? The fact that his woman means it, that makes her a mark above the rest.
Most definitely, dude.
Yeah.
And a lot of foot massages. Give her a lot of foot massages.
That comes.
Yeah. Ladies,
Is that
love
all
the
it takes?
stars.
Damn, dude, you got some skills with your hands, brother.
You notice I create things with these hands.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Oh, fantastic, man. We are so happy for your success. This
Well,
looks
thank you
like a
very much.
fantastic book. We can't, we can't wait to read it.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm looking forward to it. So what we're going to do now is we are going to play the video one more time, and then we're going to call it a night, because we have a celebration to go with our buddy Sim, who had to dip out early because he's getting ready to probably get his drink and smoke on pretty hard.
Oh, and I have to go to Carla and John's channel after this. But hopefully, you guys will still be partying, and I can join you afterwards.
Oh yeah, you're hosting. You're going to talk about Six Gun.
What? Yeah, and just to hang out, because I feel bad because Carla's like invited me on a couple of times, and I've been like asleep.
No, they usually like invite last minute. That doesn't work for me. Yeah. So.
Yeah. But so I at least want to make a appearance. And once again, Indie Dave, we can't wait to read your story. And dude, you nailed the voice over here. It's kicking.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is really funny.
We don't want you to feel left out.
It does really sound like somebody from Louisiana.
It's a very specific accent.
Yeah,
Louisiana, by way of New Hampshire and Vermont.
Right. That's excellent. All right, here we go.
Macabre, Louisiana. Today. By day, the swamp is like any other. Mud, mosquitoes, snakes, and frogs. But at night, the swamp is foggy and black as pitch. During springtime, the sound of the peepers is usually enough to almost deafen a man. But on that night, there weren't but silence. That's how I knew there was demons about. Then something moved in front of my spotlight. I think it was stalking me the whole time. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Luckily, I was prepared to defend myself. Suddenly, it jumped at me from the dark. I shot at it, but it disappeared, like a ghost. I could still feel its presence, all psychic-like. I stayed alert. No swamp demon was going to get the best of me that night. Then from out of nowhere, it attacked. It was all teeth and claws, roaring like some kind of angry grizzly bear. Then it was on me. I could feel it clawing at my face. I fought it as hard as I could. We wrestled for 10 minutes, but I finally managed to throw it out the boat. I was getting my bearings after the fight when I opened my eyes. I saw the drum reinforcements. I was completely surrounded.
Wait for it.
Will
There it is. Oh, very cool, man. Righteous.
Everybody, I want you to know that I've put the link for this in the chat. So if you want to figure out how to get there, obviously you don't have to search Oddity. It's the link is there in the chat. Also, I'm about to post a link to Adam Arch City Comics, the link for the Blood Hunt party. I'm spelling Blood Hunt with an R. Why is there an R in Blood Hunt? Blood Hunt Party, Party. Talking and spelling doesn't work for Drew. Okay, there we go. All right, those links are now in the chat. Everybody, thank you so much for attending. We are so happy you're here, and unlike talking without you guys seeing our pictures. So thank you for coming to another episode of Indie Comics Interviews. We do these Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern, and we're going to keep doing them at Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern. So please come and join the fun. And sometimes we get really, really, really silly. And we're not going to apologize for that. So
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I really
thanks for having us on. I appreciate it.
Definitely. Okay, everybody.
Thanks for coming on.
Don't take off yet, guys. And everybody, thank you for coming. We're going to be signing off now.
All right, you guys.
CG fought life.